Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade small group leaders for August week 2. If I can get this to focus, there we go. So our Bible story for this week is from James chapter 2, and it's the don't show favoritism principle from the Bible. And our bottom line is you respect God when you respect the people that God made. And our life app for the month is respect, showing others that they are important by what you say and do. So these are our new parent cue cards. This is what goes home with the kids, and every single week, every kid will take one of these home because they are week specific. So this is just for week 2. So this goes home to all the kids, and then you can make sure that they all got one of these last week, and if they weren't here, make sure that they get one of these because our memory verse for the month is show proper respect to everyone. 1 Peter 2:17. Very short and sweet. So our lesson for this week is all about respecting others, and just make sure that when you get here at 8:30 and 10:30, that you say a prayer for your small group, for our kids for the day. Just pray that they can learn and that no one shows favoritism during the day, and that they just learn to treat others with respect no matter who they are. So then as kids start to roll in, I think you guys are switching up the way that you do snacks, so your leaders will be communicating that to you. But just make sure that you know all the kids' names, ask about their week, and then you're going to engage in a little conversation. So here's some questions that you can ask. What does favorite mean? What's your favorite book, movie, song? And if you could create your favorite place to visit, what would it look like? What would you do there? What would you eat? Would it be warm or cold? What would that be? Then at 9 and 11, your intro activity is called What's Your Favorite? So it suggests gathering all the kids in the room together for this instead of staying in your small groups. So this week, I believe our 2nd graders will be in a separate room from our 3rd and 4th graders. So you could have all the 2nd graders get together and then all the 3rd and 4th graders get together. And one leader can just kind of lead this. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell kids that you're going to ask them, what's your favorite something? And as soon as you ask the question, all the kids are going to call out their answer at the same time. And then they're going to try to locate other kids in the room that had the same answer. So if you said, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? Everyone would shout out chocolate, vanilla, and then they would try to find the other kids that said the same thing. And then as soon as groups start to form together, you're going to ask another, what's your favorite question? And then after you've asked the question several times, ask volunteers to give a category for the next question, and then repeat the game. So you can just play it with a few different categories just for, those first 10 minutes or so. And then you're just going to close by saying, so we had a lot of different favorites, and it's okay to have favorite things like a favorite fruit or a favorite sport or a favorite book. However, when it comes to people, God has something to say about picking favorites. So we're going to head down to large group and hear what that is. And large group is finally back in our Oak Bridge Kids auditorium. So right across the hall is where you will head into for large group time. And then at 9:40 and 11:40, when large group is over, you're going to come back to the room and you're going to do an activity called Bible Code. So I'm going to show you down here. I'm going to move my little book here with everything falling out. So what you're going to do is you're going to show kids, you're going to kind of teach them what Morse code looks like. So if you want to, you can pull up a quick YouTube video showing what Morse code is and just talk to the kids like that was before telephones. And explain that Morse code uses a series of pulses and rhythms to communicate a message. So a short pulse is called a dot, and you say dit, 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 and you're going to use a snap for that. And a long pulse is called a dash, and that's represented by the sound da. So you're going to use a clap for that. So di, da, di, da. And then what you're going to do is for each group, in your cart, you have 2 sets. So one is for first service and one is for second service. And you have this little chart that shows you Morse code for different letters and numbers. So you could practice. You could say an A is di, da. A B is da, di, di, di. A C is da, di, da, di. And you don't have to practice all of them, but just kind of show them. And then what you're going to do is you should have a match. So notice how the James and the 2-8 have the same Morse code. So you're going to mix these all up and you're going to pass them out to all the kids in your group. So what you're going to want to do is if you have more than 10 kids in your group, you'll have to borrow the second set of cards. So first service people, just please make sure that you get these set back up for second service people, and then leave your cards for second service people. And you just have to make sure that you have the matches. So let's say I have 12 kids in my group, then I need to make sure that from this stack I pull out 2 matching cards. if that makes sense. If you only have 8 kids in your group, then you're going to take out a matching set. If you have an uneven amount of kids in your group, then you will have to play as well so that you have an even amount. Okay? So you just want to make sure that you have the right amount of cards and that they each have a match. And you're going to shuffle them up, pass one card out to each kid, and then they are not going to say what's on their card. They're going to use Morse code. So if I got the card that said James, I'm going to go. If I got the card that said Matthew, I would say. And they're going to try to find their corresponding partner by listening to the Morse code that they're making, okay? And when they find their partner, then they're going to match up, and they will use a Bible to look up this verse together. So you might have to help them look up those verses, help them use the table of contents to find Luke, remind them that the first number is the chapter, that's the big number, and the second number, that's the little number, is the verse. And then one of the partners will read this verse out loud when you guys all come back together, and you're going to read 5 different verses. Because what you're going to say is, the Bible is one way that God communicates to us, and each kid has part of a message that God has for us about showing favoritism. So when you say go, kids are going to do their rhythm on repeat until they find the other person that shares their same rhythm, and then once they get their pair, they're going to look up their verse together in the Bible and take turns reading their verse out loud to the group. And then to close, you're going to say, so what did all of these verses have in common? And they all have love your neighbor as yourself in common. So yeah, it's really important to God how we treat each other. And I think that's why he tells us so many times in the Bible to love our neighbors and to treat others the way that we would want to be treated. Because everybody is important to God, and how you treat people matters. And it's important to God that you love and respect people who are different from you. So maybe they talk different from you, or they dress different, maybe they believe different things, but you respect God when you respect the people that he made. And God made us all in his image, and he loves us all. So when you decide not to pick favorites, and when you decide to show everyone they're important, you're showing God respect. So then for the memory verse challenge, you're going to give out memory verse cubes that you have in your cart from last week. You should have some extras in case there's anyone new and you don't have enough cubes. And then each kid is going to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and you're going to have them make a line on their piece of paper for each word in the memory verse. So like a little do-it-yourself fill in the blank. So it would kind of look like this, because your memory verse would say, shoot, I can't think of it right now. Your memory verse would say, yes, show proper respect to everyone, and then 1 Peter 2:17, I think, whatever the verse is right there. And so then they're going to roll their dice. Each kid is going to get their own cube and their own thing, and they're going to roll the dice and write down one word each time, and whoever can fill in the blanks first and say the memory verse wins, and then they can take home their cubes this week. So then what you're going to say is, so let's say our verse together and practice it together. And then what do you think it means to show proper respect? Can you guys give me an example of what proper respect would look like? And what are some examples of words that you might use to show proper respect? And what would be a way to show proper respect to someone who's talking to you? So yeah, there's so many ways to show someone that they're important by what you say or do, and you respect God when you respect the people that God made. And then to close it down in prayer, you're just going to ask kids to name some people in their lives, like teachers or parents or friends or teammates or other kids in their class. And then you're going to pray with the kids. And you're just going to say this prayer right here. This is the prayer right here. So you're just going to close down with this little paragraph. And then as adults come, we really want to start getting in the habit of having adults come in to your small group to pick up the kids from their small group. So that way small group leaders are interacting with parents. And just remind them that all month long we're talking about respect, and encourage kids to use their memory verse cube at home to practice the verse for the month. So that's it, guys. Sorry, I know this was kind of a complicated activity, and so this video is a little bit longer. Thank you all so much for leading on Sunday mornings. We just got a message today to Oak Bridge saying that a small group leader told the mom that her kid has totally started opening up, and she's so excited because her kid has always been anxious, and that they just love what's happening here at Oak Bridge Kids on Sunday morning. So just thank you guys so much for what you do. If you haven't come to a volunteer Lead Small kickoff event yet, make sure you come this Sunday at 8:30. We'll have breakfast for you. Thank you guys for leading, and we'll see you this Sunday.